Welcome to a Dirty Thursday on Grand Forks. Best Source brought to you by River City Speedway. You want to find out more, like track schedules or anything, just go to rivercityspeedway.com. Of course, the Bull Ring, and bringing us this show today like they do every Thursday. Speaking of Bull Ring, the other half of the Bull Ring boys is not here today. Chad's, he's having another procedure. We'll just keep saying that. Joining us on the show today, announcer at the Greenbush Race Park, Keith Cumming. He's been on the show last year. We'll be talking with him in a couple of minutes. Your show, by the way, brought to you by Northwest Tire in Grand Forks, who is looking to hire a tire technician, all right? You know what? If you're not afraid to show up for work on time and work when you're there, that's what you're supposed to do, this job might be perfect for you. No prior work experience is necessary. Northwest Tire will train the right people, get great benefits, PTO, health insurance, 401k, and more. Pay will depend on experience, but stop into Northwest Tire on Gateway Drive to find out more. Or you can call Chad at 701-780-8473 or apply online at nwtire.com. Well, before we get too much further into the show, it is time for our daily segment called Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. Here we go, Jokes My Neighbor Tells Me. All right, during Easter sermon, the preacher asked little Johnny what he knew about the resurrection. Well, Johnny's reply, well, not much, other than if it lasts more than 4 hours, seek medical attention. That was a good one. Anyway, our phone number, if you want to call or text any questions for Keith or myself, 701-213-0863. There you go, 701-213-0863. Mr. Cumming, how are you, man?
Good.
How's winter treating you?
Glad it's just about over.
Yeah, just about. Well, we never know up here, do we?
No, we don't.
So did you have to take, was it like a car/boat ride to get here from Warroad? Which,
Almost,
by the way, thanks for coming.
Yeah, almost a pontoon there.
What's the lake looking like up there?
She's still frozen pretty solid.
Yeah, I wonder how thick it is.
Kirk Quinnell was out and drilled a hole.
Yep.
He said 30 inches still.
Wow.
By Arneson's.
Wow. Oh, Kurt, I used to work with him way back in the day.
Yeah, and he's doing very well for himself now as a guide.
Yeah, he is. He was one of the, I'm going to tell you this right now, he was probably one of the funnest guys I ever worked with. Guy knows how to make people laugh, that's for sure. But a great guy, a great fisherman, too.
Yep.
Greenbush Race Park, some people, they'll call it Greenbush Racetrack, Greenbush Race Park, but there's more than just oval dirt track at Greenbush, right?
Yeah. Another developer actually built a motocross track there about 2 years ago now, I believe.
Okay.
So they are running select motocross dates.
Now, where did I talk to this guy? Was he on my show? Does he race snowmobiles or something too?
No, he's a lightning sprint driver.
That's what it was. He went from motocross to lightning sprints.
Yeah.
He wasn't on the show. I talked to him at the Racer Showcase.
Dylan Langevin.
That's where it was. Yeah, Langevin kid. Okay, yeah, I talked to him at the Racer Showcase we had at Home of Economy, which, by the way, was one hell of a time. Greg and Kevin watching the show, thanks for watching with us. Now, do they host a lot of, like, motocross races up there, too?
The race park, no. It's
Okay.
all Greenbush motocross.
Okay.
So they're kind of separate from us.
Okay. I was fortunate enough. I used to go to Greenbush every weekend when we were running A-Mods. I hadn't been there in years and years, and you called me up and asked me if I could fill in for you one night, and we went down there and had a great time. Ran into a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Ran into a lot of people I see quite often who were surprised that we were up there, but that is a really nice racetrack. They got a nice little gig going on there.
For how small it is and how small our community is, it's Terry Blacklands calls it a hidden gem. Yeah. And it truly is.
And the thing about Greenbush, you talk about how small of a town Greenbush is. Ever since I have been alive, I have always associated Greenbush with racing, whether it be on dirt, ice, snowmobiles, cars, motorcycles, whatever. But Greenbush is a racy town.
Yeah, definitely.
And I didn't mean it racy that way.
Right.
But I mean, you've got, they could just about call it Wallsville. You got Dave and Dermont, and we do run into them at the racetracks around here once in a while, but some major racing history up in Greenbush.
Yeah, Dermont's a big help for Trapper in the summer times. He does a lot of the track prep work.
Good guys.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite event last year?
Oh, wow. I would have to say that Lightning Sprint Shootout was probably one of the better highlights of the summer. Mm-hmm. I was able to take in 3 of the 4 nights of that. So yeah, that was definitely a fun weekend.
Now, once in a while, I do see you show up around here. Do you, when you get a chance, do you go check out other racetracks?
I try to.
Yeah, because see, that's my downfall. I don't get the chance to go check these other tracks out, and unless I'm lucky enough to get to go call a race up there. But I wish I could take my weekends and just go from track to track to track to track. Well, if I did that, I'd be working. But it's kind of nice to get out and see how everybody else does things.
Right. The bucket list thing would be to hit every Wazota track in the area.
Okay.
You know, for a summer, but Powerball hasn't come in yet, so
yeah. and boy, we all know the price of gas that's going down. You know.
But yeah, I made it to Ada for the first time last summer. I hadn't never been there before. Big track. Mm-hmm. Wow, big track.
I have not been to Ada yet. I keep getting invited. I haven't been to Huset's, and I've never been to Knoxville.
No, never been there.
And we're dirt track guys, Keith, and we don't even, you know, it always seems like whenever I want to go to Knoxville, something else is going on.
Yeah.
And it's hard to do. I mean, weekends in the summer, it's so damn short around here that you don't always want to just work every weekend either.
Right.
This year's schedule, how's it looking for you guys?
Well, we're looking pretty good. We plan to open Memorial Weekend, May 28th. Our first 2 weeks will be just regular nights, and we host 4 Wazota classes of mods, streets, Midwest mods, and pure stocks, and then we got lightning sprints and the 4 cylinders on select dates.
Okay, so you got June 25th, you got the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour and the Steffa Street Stock Tour coming up. That's always a good event.
Yep. Bad part about that last year is the Street Stock Tour got rained out.
Oh, yeah.
We got through every feature race except for that one, and then that one got rained out, and then they couldn't make it up.
Did you guys get rained out quite a bit last year? Because I know most tracks around here lucked out, it seemed like last year.
We only lost 4 shows to rain.
Okay, so you did lose quite a few.
Well, yeah, I guess out of, I think, 19 or 20 that we had scheduled.
Okay.
So it wasn't too bad.
You know, the nice thing about Greenbush, you talk about the cars you run there all the time, but the nice thing about all the local tracks around here, they do bring in other classes and other sanctioning bodies. But, you know, we talk about the Rebel Midwest Mod Tour and the Steffa Street Stock Tour, but you got the NLRA late models going to be coming up too.
They'll be making 5 visits.
Oh, wow.
To the race park, including our 2-day finale on Labor Day weekend. Mm-hmm. They'll be there both nights. June 18th, a night I'm kind of looking forward to. For the first time ever, the INEX Legends.
Oh, sure.
Will make a visit to the race park.
Oh, that'll be fun. They're fun to watch.
I've just been enamored with those cars ever since I've seen them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to like, you know, the tight, well, not necessarily tight, but the racing surface and then the racing that they'll be able to provide or put on.
Sure. You know, I look, we've lost so many good people in the racing world. You know, and you look at some of these. One thing that catches my eye is the Baker Cup. Elliot Baker was a very good friend of mine back in the day, and not a bad A-Mod racer either. But I like that you've got the Baker Cup. You also, what's the other race did you guys? Anyway, but how does that draw, that Baker's Cup one?
Oh, we usually get a good pile of modifieds in for that one, and that's back now after a 2-year hiatus, if you want to call it that, you know, because of COVID and the Cup being up in Winnipeg.
Sure. You know, one nice thing about you guys having your schedule actually start at the end of May, you guys probably have a better chance than anybody as far as starting on time.
We've had a tough time getting that opening weekend in. It seems like Mother Nature just doesn't want to cooperate. I know last year that was one of the first ones that got canceled, was our opening weekend.
Yeah.
First 2 weekends, in fact.
Is there a lot of snow out there, a lot of water? Well, what's the track looking like?
I haven't even been by the track, but I think most of the snow is gone.
Okay. Well, good. Hopefully it dries out quick. And now, of course, they're talking rain all weekend. Yeah, I got to love that. We're going to be back with Keith Cumming here on your Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway right here in Grand Forks, the good old bull ring. But you know what? Life doesn't ever seem to slow down. Everything needs to be done like yesterday. When you got to get that oil change and you don't have much time, go into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You know, most of the time you're in and out of there in like 15, 20 minutes. At least I know when I go in there, I am. They do more than that too. Tranny and coolant flushes. If you ask them, they'll rotate your tires. They'll check your battery. But when you get the oil change, they do more than that. They're going to top off your fluids. They do check your tires, your battery, lights, wipers, your cabin air filter, all that stuff. They also offer discounts for fleets. They offer discounts if you're in the military. They can text and email invoices and coupons. And if you mention that you heard this ad on Grand Forks Best Source, they'll knock $10 off your oil change. They're open Monday through Saturday. No appointment needed. I just drive right up. I never have to wait. They get me in. They get me out of there. And it's a done deal. Pickup and deliveries available in Grand Forks. Valvoline Instant Oil Change for a complete oil change and more. They're at 3325 South 38th Street, or call 701-780-8462. But make sure you tell them that Grand Forks Best Source sent you. Keith Cumming with Greenbush Race Park in the schedule, or in the studio today. We've been talking about dates being pushed back. I know River City Speedway is pushed back a week. The Test and Tune will now be May 8th. Racing hopefully going to start on May 13th. Devil's Lake hopefully planning on starting on the 14th. Mason Aaron's racing video, fingers crossed, weather-wise for Steffes and Rebel Tour races, absolutely. So we know right now that a couple of tracks are going to be starting late this year. But we did get a question, Keith, from Instagram last night. With the Canadian border, you know, they've eased up on the restrictions now. Guys can get across and back if you meet the criteria. But that's exciting. I mean, it's exciting for River City Speedway, but it's got to be more exciting for Greenbush because you guys get a lot of people coming back and forth across the border.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that they released or eased up the restrictions anyway. Anywhere from a dozen to 16 racers, you know, would cross on a normal week.
Yeah, so, and not to mention the fans.
Yeah, that is good news.
You know, how long have you been announcing?
This will be year number 10.
Year number 10. Can you think of the worst wreck you've ever seen while you were working? I know we've seen a ton.
Yeah, a couple of them last year. Ronnie Novacek tried to take down the front stretch wall. He did a darn good job of it, but our safety crew got it all back together, and we were able to keep on racing that night. And then Labor Day weekend, the first night, the Saturday night, we must have had a shower or something go through because it was hammered down track. Mm-hmm. And when that usually happens, track records fall, and we had 4 rollovers that night.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think we get 4 in a year.
Wow.
So
yeah, you know, and a lot of people don't get it when a race car driver might say this track is too fast. It took me years to figure that out because I always thought, well, isn't that what your brake pedal's for? But when it comes to tearing up equipment, tires, all that kind of stuff, they can be too fast.
Yeah, tacky tracks or fast tracks, hammered down tracks. And we just had one that night. The following night, it was back to normal.
Back to normal. Yep. How about the best race you've ever called? You got one that sticks out in your mind?
Oh, geez.
You know, I've been lucky to call some pretty good races around here, but there's usually a couple that stand out for me.
It was probably that street stock one 5 or 6 years ago where Terry Blacklance got his first feature win there at Greenbush. He was out in front, and there was like 5 or 6 cars behind him battling for 2nd through 7th, and it just went back and forth the whole race, and Terry managed to hold him off and pick up his first feature win.
Wow.
At Greenbush.
That's I love bringing up these old stories of some of the races. A couple of more texts. Old Buzzy Olson. Hey, Buzz, he's watching. Kevin Pappenfuss. Keith, we need to get together.
Absolutely.
We need to get another get-together going. Keith was a big part of when we did them with Wayne Farmer. Amanda Joe, I can't wait to get back to Greenbush this summer with the Lightning Sprints. Love this track. Everybody I talk to that goes to Greenbush, Keith, they love that place.
And with good reason, you know.
Yeah.
Track is always smooth, or mostly smooth. Mm-hmm. Never too rough. And there's good racing. 3-4 lines wide, and we're usually done by 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
so people
that's
can get
huge.
out of there. And
Are you guys having trouble filling positions at the track? Because I see it on social media. All the local racetracks, they're all looking for help.
I believe Trapper's looking for some help. So if you're in the area, in Greenbush area, and want to help out, just give him a call. Mm-hmm. His numbers are on our Facebook page at Official Greenbush Race Park.
Yeah, chance to make a couple extra bucks and be at a racetrack.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I love going to the racetrack. It's a little different. The people in the concession stands and stuff might not get to see much, but they always get a chance to take a little break, too.
Yeah, they can sneak up and watch for 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you guys are hoping May 28th. Did you have to do any kind of repairs or spring cleaning or any of that kind of stuff before we get... It seems like every track has got their to-do list.
Yeah, I'm sure he has a to-do list, and I wish he could have made it today, but he was just busy at work. So I don't know. I know last year they had to put some more gumbo down and get that worked in. Mm-hmm. This year, I don't know if they have to do that yet again or not.
Do you, when you get to the track, I don't know what time you get there. If you're like me, I get there always plenty early. Do you enjoy getting to walk around in the pits? Do you do that before the racing and go talk to some of these guys? To me, I find it's a little easier announcing if I know a little bit about them, and try to get friendly.
Yeah, I get antsy sitting at home on a Saturday. I want to get there early. I'm usually there by 3 o'clock. Pit gates open at 4:30, and then I'm in the pit.
The box. Yep. Okay.
So I see most of the drivers when they come through, and I handle the paperwork, hand out checks, and stuff like that till 6, and then I'm up in my booth. But I try to, talk to them as they come through, and then after the races if there's time.
Now, are you... This is what I have found out from other track announcers, because I can attest to this. If any fan or any race car driver has got a bitch or a complaint, it's like the announcer knows it all. Do you have people coming up to you and say, what'd they make that call for? What in the hell are they thinking? Because I just have to say, look, I'm just the announcer. I don't make the calls.
Not too much. Occasionally, it'll be like the Monday or Tuesday after. And I just tell them, I don't know. I don't have a radio. Mm-hmm. I don't know what went on.
Yep.
So, and then if they got a problem with that, well, then ask Trapper.
Yeah. And then you get the old, where it happens to me a lot, is the sheriff will pop his head in and give me a license plate number. Either saying, move your car, it's going to be towed, or your lights are on.
Yep.
Or, I lost my kid. Can you help me find my kid? The life of an announcer... have you ever thought, because there are guys around here that in the winter times, they're fortunate enough, if you want to call it that, to get to go and follow racing out west, down south, things like that. Have you ever thought about maybe doing anything like that in the winter?
Boy, it sure would be nice to get away from some of the cold, just for that reason, but not too much, no. I don't consider myself to be that good yet to be able to do that.
Amanda Jo says, come on, the announcer does know it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You come up to my booth there, Amanda, and we'll see.
She needs to start taking notes with me. Because, sometimes you get these new guys in, and I'm a stickler about this because I used to call a lot of hockey, football, baseball games and stuff like that. And I always talk to the coaches first to find out how to pronounce a name.
Yeah.
And I'd spell it, and they go, no, it's not spelled like that. And I don't want to know how it's spelled, especially when you get up in the Greenbush area and you're talking Stephen, Argyle around there. There's some names with a bunch of letters.
And a lot of skis.
And when you look at the way it's spelled, it's not pronounced anything like the way it's spelled. Right. But have you ever really just butchered somebody's name and didn't find out about it till later? Because I've done it numerous times.
Yeah. There was a outlaw mini mod driver, spelled his last name Cutrer. And I kept saying Cutrer.
Okay.
But it was Cutrer.
Oh.
And I think I called him Cutrer for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And people will come up to me and say, hey, you're pronouncing his name wrong. So then I'll write it down, but then I'll forget. Or somebody throws my notes away. What I try to do is, my notes from every week, I try to keep up in the announcer booth here in town. So that way, if I got to go back a couple of weeks, I can find that out. But every once in a while, somebody gets the itch to clean, and they go throw all my notes away. But you almost have to keep a dang book with you with pronunciations.
I used to do youth hockey games over in East Grand Forks to the PA. And I can remember I was doing a starting lineup, and I no more than shut off the mic and I said a guy's name wrong, and 3 people behind me corrected me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, never said it wrong again.
I did like 16 games in the World Juniors tournament years ago at the Ralph Engelstad here and the one in Thief River. And I got asked to go call some games in Thief because that's my hometown. And I got stuck with a lot of the European teams where their names were like, they come right out of Steven.
Yeah.
And so they have a media person that comes with them, and you meet with the media person and you go through all the, the pronunciations. But I can still remember calling a name. I don't know if they had scored the goal and the assist or whatever it was, but you could see the guy. And here's the thing. When you're an announcer, you try to talk like you know what you're saying.
Yep.
You don't want to stumble on words, but so I whip out these couple of names, and you can see the guys from behind chuckling and elbowing each other like, hey, you sure butchered your name that time. But, it's just part of the territory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought, or have they ever thought about, I know you don't, NOSA, they're not going to be there this year?
No.
Have they been there recently?
Not for the last couple of years, no.
Okay. Is it possible? Could we ever get like a World of Outlaws show or something up there? Or do they have to? I don't know what their criteria is
I
for
would think
seating
that they
or
would
any of that.
They would require so much seating and stuff like that just to, break even. It would be nice, but I don't see it ever happening.
Yeah. Does Greenbush have motels, more than one?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Okay. And that could be an issue.
Yeah.
Trying to get people. But I thought, gosh, if they did that, and maybe they could run up in Winnipeg too, they could make the swing, just go up a little bit. But I would imagine right now with the way Canada is in the border that, God, would that be a crap show?
Yeah.
Watching all these outlaws trying to get back and forth across the Canadian border.
As long as they were vaccinated, it would be, fine. But
If
they weren't.
What do you think about this whole vaccination border thing? Because I don't like it. I don't think anybody should be forced to put something in their body, but
No, right.
that's me, and that maybe is for another show.
Right. And I got the shot just because I work with so many different people during the day, and I see my mom and stuff on the weekends that I didn't want to take a chance and pass it on to her.
Last year we had Shane Edgington got across the border, and he just stayed.
Yeah.
Stayed for like 5 months. Last I heard, I think he's planning on probably doing that again this year, but do you think more Canadians? But I suppose the whole thing is you've got to be able to afford to do that.
Right.
And if you're going to race 4 or 5 times a week like he did all over this area, you better win some money. Yeah. Because it would be really tough to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you talked to anybody having trouble getting parts, tires, anything like that?
No, I haven't. I know it's pretty much the same for everybody else. I know Hot Carl did a video on Facebook about tires. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I saw bits and pieces, yeah.
But I kind of agree with him on one part that, if they're having trouble getting tires, Otis should just open it up for 1 year.
They should, yeah. Even though I think they're contracted for one more, I believe.
Yeah, well, talk with Hoosier. If they can't get the tires in, let them run whatever for 1 year.
Yep, run what you brung.
And then go back to everything, to normal the next year.
Yeah, it was funny because at that Racer Showcase at Home of Economy, Dustin Strand had his brand new A-Mod there. And I saw it right away. American Racers on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the deal there? And he told me, I don't have a Hoosier tire in my shop. And that's telling you something.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be that, or it's going to be, they're going to have to water tracks down so much to stop from tire wear that you get a track that's too greasy. I mean, that takes, the racing's not as good.
Right. Right. And ours, after it seals over, if you put water on it, it's like a skating rink.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it would take an hour to work in, and by then you're looking at 11 o'clock midnight before the show is over.
Right, right. And nobody likes being at the racetrack that late. No. You guys are kind of lucky, though. You're kind of out a little bit. Grand Forks here at River City is we're right in town. And I know there's a noise ordinance and things like that. And I know sometimes you got to pay the fine or whatever. But at least that's one thing you guys don't have to worry about as much there.
Yeah. And like I said, most of the time we're done by 10:30, 11 o'clock. An occasional show might run to 11:30, but normally we're done by 10:30.
Okay. How did you get your start announcing racing?
Uh, as a kid, I had Hot Wheels,
Sure, we all did.
and then I had a rug that looked perfect as a racetrack. Well, I would go and play with my Hot Wheels and have a race. And I grew up watching Jim Corcoran.
Oh, yeah,
and
sure.
There are things that he said today that still stick in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, and when Trapper took the track over in 2013, I called and asked if he needed an announcer. And he said, yeah. So that's basically where that started.
You know, I did so many other sporting events. I used to run around a little bit with Don Jorstead, if you remember Don. He had actually gotten me into doing a little bit of racing. I think we were in Warren back then. So I kind of went around with Don for a little bit. Well, then I landed the trackside thing. Then I went into racing and bought a car and messed around with it for a while and ended up selling it. So then I got the trackside job here at River City Speedway, and it's going on like 17. I remember how many years, but I can remember a few times when Bob Hultgren was the announcer, and for some reason, I was scared to death to call a race. I was just scared, and there was a couple of times where we knew he couldn't make it, so it was going to be me to do it. And I lucked out, I thought, and we got rained out every time. Well, then when Bob decided to hang it up and retire, they called me up and asked me if I wanted to do it. And for some, I just went, yeah, absolutely. When you get to racetracks, change a lot of the people, it takes them a while. And I think that's what I was more nervous about. Because I remember when I took over trackside, I was a lot different than the guy that did it for years before. You know, all of a sudden, here comes John Roberts with Crocs on and cargo shorts and wearing a baseball hat and a beer in one hand and a mic in the other hand. And you could see the look on the people's face like, what the hell is that? But by about 3 weeks in, people are yelling at you, waving at you, shaking your hands. And it's all about making it as fun as you can. Brad Sang put this to me, and I thought a very good way. You got to look at it like a circus mentality. You put the show on, you make it as great as you can, and get the show done as fast as you can, and everybody leaves happy. But there's so much involved with it, not just the racing itself, but with all the downtime, and that's where it kind of makes our job a little more difficult.
Yeah. And I'm not big on offering a lot of information. If I have something that's kind of pertinent, I'll throw that in there. But otherwise, it's probably I'm probably lucky I don't have the webcast going on too, because there'd be a lot of dead air.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We got another question from Mason. Mason Aaron's Racing Videos. Got any recommendations for food at the track or in Greenbush itself on race day? I can't remember what I ate there, but I know their food is good at the concession stand.
No, just about everything there is pretty good.
Yeah, you got a favorite, a go-to?
Probably just the burger.
Are there any decent restaurants in Greenbush?
They had one downtown, the Twins Rockin' 50s Cafe.
Oh, sure. Okay.
I'm not sure if that's still open or not.
Okay.
She might have closed.
Yeah. How excited are you for racing? I go stir crazy in the winter.
Yeah, like I said before, once the Minnesota high school hockey tournament is done, let's go racing.
Yeah, and every year, we wrap up here in town. You got 3 days at the John sites, and then we run just one more regular show. And normally during those 3 days, I'm also doing 2 days of carts. So, I'm announcing for 3 solid days, day and night, and I'm so burned out by the end of the year. So then the next weekend when we're done, I'm like, yeah, I'm good with this. But then the following week when it's still 70 degrees outside and we're getting towards the end of September, and I'm thinking, why are we still racing? And I already miss it.
See, that's when you should go and visit the specials in the area.
Yeah. And I know I need to do that, or at least just go south. Let's see. The Remedies Bar and Grill has awesome food. Remedies. Okay.
Downtown Greenbush.
All right. There we go. So now you can go eat and watch some good racing. But the food at the racetrack is good stuff. You guys have an idea how many cars you think will be able to make it there on a nightly basis? I know that's a hard one to answer.
We've averaged anywhere from 50 to 75, depending on the night. I know one year there we averaged about 75 a night.
Wow.
And I think last year, the last 2 nights of the year, was 120 120, 130 cars on the nights.
Wow. Remember back in the day when guys used to settle their differences in the pits, the physical way?
Yeah.
You ever see a good one of those?
No, never. A lot of screaming back and forth,
Yeah.
across the pits, but never any fisticuffs.
Yeah, I do know there are people that refuse to park next to other people in the pits. Got any of that going on up there? You don't have to mention names.
See, that I don't know about. I'm stuck in the pit shack. So
Okay. You don't hear the
probably best that
grumblings.
way.
Yeah. Have you got a favorite driver since you were a kid until now? Anybody that you've always looked up to or followed? Maybe wish they were still alive?
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, I started going to the races at Grand Forks Speedway when I was, 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. My uncle's in the Hall of Fame. So he would be one. Dwayne Anderson.
Yeah.
Another one. Rich Tesmer, who we lost last fall. There's just so many. Tom Corcoran, just for his longevity.
Yeah.
I helped a guy out there in Greenbush, Rick Johnson, for 7 or 8 years. Mm-hmm. Lost him not too long ago. So yeah, there's quite a few drivers that I've looked up to and liked.
One of the pictures I have that Jim Corcoran used to take pictures and he'd frame them and he'd give them to me. It was a picture of myself, Dwayne Sandin, and Jim Corcoran together.
I've seen that one.
And I don't know. I thought I brought it to the racetrack. I can't remember what ended up with it, but some of probably the best pictures I have were taken from him or by him. And you think about it because back then, everybody was still alive.
Yep.
And now these guys are gone, and you think about the history.
Yeah, exactly.
And I might tell people, I've been there 17. That's nothing compared to Dwayne and Jim and even Tom racing. These guys, racing's a little bit of a different deal. It seems like once it's in your blood, you can't shake it.
No, you can't. I mean, you guys talk about racing family. Just look at your Facebook friends list.
Yeah.
How many of those people have you met through racing?
Yes.
Either
racing or fishing.
Yeah. It's too bad that nobody sat down with Jim and Dwayne and got the history that they know.
See, those two guys would have been awesome on this show.
Yep.
I wish we would have came up with this years ago because I would have loved to have those guys on the show. Would have been so much fun. And then, you also mentioned Tom, and his name had came up in the Dirty Thursday show a couple of weeks ago, and people were wondering if he was going to race again. And he sent us a picture of his empty shop with a rocking chair in it. Well, I ran into him a couple of days after that, and he still wouldn't spill all the beans. But I don't think we've seen the last of him yet.
Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully he's got.
I want to see him
working.
win 7 decades.
Yeah, well, that'd be another 9 years.
Yeah, well, he could probably do it.
Probably.
Have you got anybody new coming up that's getting into the racing this year? Because, that's one thing I like about the beginning of the year is finding out new people that come in. But a lot of times we don't know that until they start.
Right. No, I haven't heard anything other than Aaron Blackland's jumping up to an A-mod.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Terry, I think, has been talking a little bit about maybe getting back in.
Coming back and select dates for the street stock.
Yeah, because, he got the new hip and everything, and so good. That would be great to see him. Kaylee says, we love the nights that you and Johnny Gibson announce karts. Have you ever done go-karts?
No.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Granted, there's some classes that take a little time. The younger kids, but you got to get your start somewhere. But,
right.
Man, we just absolutely, I love doing karts, and I would do it every Wednesday if I could. But it's a good time. If you ever get a chance, I can't remember, did I reach out to you about that Crookston thing? Because I know they were looking for somebody when they did the indoor thing, but we'll have to keep you in mind for next year. I don't know if you'd ever want to go drive down to Crookston.
I wanted to come down, but it seemed like every time they held it, the weather was crap.
Yeah, and Warroad to Crookston, that's not an easy little jaunt either.
It's a nice 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And then, you'd probably have to stay.
Yeah.
If you got 2 days in a row. Yeah, from where I live, I can make it to the winter shows in about 20 minutes.
Right.
So it's a little bit different, but gosh, I never got the chance. They put it off because of weather the one week, and then asked me if I could do it. Well, I had plans already for that week, and it just didn't seem to work out. So, a lot of great shows on the Greenbush Race Park schedule this year. How many shows you got here?
I think we got 19.
19 shows. You can find out more at greenbushracepark.com or on Facebook at Official Greenbush Race Park. You got some really good shows here. I like that 2-day NLRA show, the Race of Champions date, the Summer Shootout, which is going to be incredible again with those lightning sprints. It sounds to me like pretty much the whole crew that came up here last year is going to follow again this year. And I met a lot of really good guys from out in the West Coast there who now are my Facebook friends.
Yep.
A couple of them even have Bullring Boys T-shirts that they're sporting around out there. But also, whoever made the punch, I think that was Jason Berg, the moonshine, bubblegum moonshine. Ooh, goodness, is that good. But I'm looking forward to it coming up to Greenbush. And here's the thing, Keith, if you ever need a night off again, let me know well in advance, and I will try to make it work because I'd love to go back up there again.
Well, that was my first night off in 9 years. So,
wow, yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to find something else, but yeah, we'll keep you in mind.
Yeah, once in a while, people get married, people die. You got to go out of town.
Who gets married during race season? I haven't figured that out yet. I mean...
Yeah, my only problem is race season is during fish season.
Yeah.
And so I fish a couple of weekend tournaments that I can't make it. Every once in a while, my wife will put her foot down and say, we need a weekend off.
Yeah.
Let's go out of town. Now I got 2 new puppies, though, so I got an excuse to not to leave town as much. Let's see. Travis Strandell, shout out to Keith Cumming. Hope to see you this race season. Travis, what a great kid.
Yep.
He's just such a humble kid, too.
Yeah.
Loved having we had got done fishing on a Wednesday night, and I'd gone over because my boat was in the shop, so I went over to my buddy's house to drop his boat off that I was using, and here Travis lived right there, and I didn't know it, so I see this, does that look like a sprint car sitting out there, and dark out, and here's Travis out there wrenching away on his sprint car, but what a great kid.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him in rideoutcar.com Victory Lane one time because I know we will. Seems like a long drive for you to come down here to talk with me for 40 minutes.
Hey, day off of work.
Well, that's true. Is it a paid day?
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't feel quite as bad. But I really think it's important because the racetracks in this area, they all kind of work together.
We have to, otherwise we all kind of just slowly die.
Right. And racetrack owners in Greenbush, they want to see big crowds in Grand Forks, Ada, Buffalo River. They want to see big crowds because it's racing.
Right.
And it's the same way. And it's cool that we can get all these other racetracks on here and talk about their schedules because, well, let's face it, a lot of people that might be in the Thief River Falls area, Middle River, whatever, that's a hop, skip, and a jump,
right?
To Greenbush from there. The Thief River people, they kind of got it. They're right in the center there of being able to get to all the tracks. But I'd talk about every racetrack in the planet every day if I could.
Yeah.
So it's a family deal.
Right.
And we need to keep it going.
Yeah.
Cost of fuel this year is going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah, there'll be drivers just picking and choosing certain dates.
Mm-hmm. And some of these sanctioning bodies now, they're making more trips to South Dakota and southern Minnesota, and you kind of feel bad for them because, with the haulers that they're driving around now, and you spend all that money for fuel to try to hopefully make the show to maybe... Well, I only lost a couple $100 tonight.
Yeah.
Am I lucky enough to break even if I don't win? But boy, I tell you what, it could be another trying year this year, and it's been so bad because of the COVID crap. But it could be a trying year again this year, but because of completely other reasons.
Right. Fuel, tires, parts, stuff like that.
Oh, glad you made it.
Well, thanks for having me.
What's your plan for the rest of the day?
I got a little shopping to do, and then hopefully head back before the water crosses the interstate. Oh,
yeah, they're talking that could happen today. Is that what they're saying?
Well, I haven't heard anything, but, you never know.
Yeah, do you, being in Warroad, I don't know what the shopping is like there.
No.
So
Non-existent.
whenever you come to Grand Forks, do you try to hit some of these stores that you can't hit up there?
Every once in a while. I'm usually, try and get down here about every 3 or 4 months.
So what's your go-to store in Grand Forks?
Probably Target.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
I'm not a big fan of Walmart.
No?
I'll go to Sam's, but not a big fan of Walmart.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to do a self-checkout, I'd stay home and shop online.
Oh, gosh, I know. Oh, those self-checkouts bug me. And especially when they got 20 checkout aisles and two people working.
Yep.
Yeah, so then you go to the self-checkout, and the lines are ridiculous.
Yeah.
They got like 5 self-checkouts and 30 people waiting in line. Would it make more sense just to hire a couple of more people?
Right, yeah.
You got people all over the floor. Put some at a damn register.
Yeah.
Keith Cumming, looking forward to seeing you this summer. May 28th is the scheduled opener. Got some great shows coming up. A bunch of NLRA late model shows. Got some legend cars going to be this year. The Rebel Midwest Mod Tour and the Steppa Street Stock Tour. Race of Champions qualifier. They've got pure stock specials. They've also got the Baker Cup, the Olson Cup, the Summer Shootout with the Minn Kota Lightning Sprints. A lot of really great shows. Racing starts at what time in Greenbush Race Park?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Also got to throw in there the RV Mod Tour.
Oh, did I miss that one?
Yeah, at the bottom of the first page there.
There we go. Advantage RV Mod Tour. Sorry about that, guys. Going to be a great year.
Yes.
I think it's your schedule looks phenomenal. I look forward to going up there. You got to remember, a lot of the people we see here on Friday nights, they're at Greenbush.
Yeah.
And so you can go follow your favorite race car driver there. And if you've never been to Greenbush Race Park, it's worth checking out. It's like Terry says, it's a hidden gem up there. Beautiful place, nice facility, and hats off to all you guys that run it because you guys do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
And again, Keith Cumming, thanks for coming in today on our Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway. You want to find out more about River City Speedway, like schedules or any of the news, just go to rivercityspeedway.com. You can also check them out on Facebook. Chad Hoff, the other half of the Bullring Boys, hopefully will be here next week. Now, we're going to do one more Snurdy Thursday, and that's going to be next Thursday. And coming on the show, we've been trying to get him on all winter, newly inducted Hall of Fame driver Brian Sturgeon will be on the show on Thursday next week. Then we'll get back into the dirty part of Dirty Thursday. Big shout out going out to Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. They bring you a Dirty Thursday every single Thursday, and they have got so much stuff going on, including tonight, the NFL Draft Party. It's a chance to win gift cards. It's a chance to win a case of beer a week for a year. You imagine that? I'd only have to buy beer like 2 more times a week. It'd be perfect. Mondays, they got the DJ Trivia Night. Also, April 30th, that sports card show, along with the South End Loop. That's a new thing. And, of course, May 7th, the huge Kentucky Derby party. Love that place. Rumor Sports Bar and Casino. BT was on the show yesterday talking about all the things happening up there. So, thanks again to those guys at Rumors. Hey, don't forget, the Best Forking Sports Arena show is back on its regular time tonight at 6:30 with Monty and Bill and the rest of the crew. And also remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. Also, become a patron on Podbean to qualify for all sorts of giveaways, all right? Grand Forks, it's a lovely place, isn't it? Grand Forks' best source is giving it an identity again.